Hello. How to build an organizational chart, an organizational structure that will last. I'm Walt and I'm your host today. These are our objectives. Our objectives are to teach you how to do this, or at least lay down some foundation, so in a way that we're not reinventing the wheel. We're not going to be talking about circles. We're going to be talking about community organizations. We're going to be talking about just good old solid organizational structures and organizational charts. Where I want to be helping you get your head around the work and how you can get started. This isn't going to be a finished product, but just kind of getting your head around what all the kind of work you need to get done and also what kind of work not to get done. This is our agenda down through here. Just as a little background, this is what I do for a living. For the last 12 years, I've been doing only organizational structure and organizational design with over 250 companies. Some as large as 30,000 people down to mom and pop, 20 and 15 people. Published a book called Death of the Org Chart. Just Google Death of the Org Chart and it'll come up. My day rate is $7,500 a day and I work about 140 days a year. So I'm not practicing on you. I'm giving this for you to help first mode. Here are our agendas. Cover the objectives. Hey, we got that done almost. 2 perspective questions so you know when the work is done. The dome top table example, Gunther's Painting Company, and finally, the 3 little pigs. Basically a story about the building blocks that you'll need to be working with. 2 perspective questions that they're going to let you know when the work is done. There's 2 questions that are being asked when you're working on organizational structure and organizational charts. And one question comes from the C-suite, like the CEO, and the other question comes from the individual contributor, the employees. And these are the 2 questions. The C-suite is asking who is doing what and why. And then the employee side, so it kind of has this arrow that goes back and forth, is what am I doing and why? So this equals the employee or the individual contributor. And it's very important for us to look at it from both sides of this because at the end of the day, the people that are doing the work are these folks over here. These are the ones just riding along the wagon. This has to be done for them and not to them. It's a two-way street. And to get this working really, really well, we have to include our individual contributors. And we have other ways to do that. You can see all about that at 7q7p.com. Those are 2 perspective questions. When the C-suite, easy for me to say, when the C-suite can say, who is doing what and why, and they're clear, and the individual can say, what am I doing and why? We've got the work done. Domed top table. So this is the idea of what we're trying to capture. Is if you imagine an organization and it's a domed top table, and hanging off of this domed top table are all the different jobs. That was a bad one. So there could be many more than this. And then underneath each one of these jobs is like the roles or positions that make up the job. These roles and positions are really important. This is where all the work gets done, and we just have to attach these. Just trying to draw what it would look like. Super oversimplification. And so, you might have 5 roles or positions, you might have 3. It doesn't really matter. But this is the idea. Is here's our dome top table. Surrounding that table are these jobs with these attached positions. And out of the sky drops this issue or this thing that's got to get done. And it lands on the table. And this thing is shaped like a ball bearing. This issue is shaped like a ball bearing. It lands on a dome top table. What's it going to do? Well, it's going to roll, of course. And our goal here is that this ball bearing can't slip through the cracks and hit the floor. It can't get footballed back and forth between 2 areas or between positions. Not clear who's doing what. it can't roll over into this one that's full, because then all it does is just spill over again, and it can't get caught between. So the whole idea is the ball bearing lands on the table, and it clearly goes into seats. We know who's catching the ball, who's handling the ball. This is what I call the dome top table. And if you have a really good organizational structure and a really good organizational chart, then any kind of issues that are going on inside the organization, you're going to be able to map them to where the problem is. Gunther's Painting Company. So this is basically a drawing of everything that's going on in Gunther's painting right here. These are all of the daily positions that are part of Gunther. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 key positions that have to be filled every single day. And these are the different jobs that have to get filled and people fill. If you notice, I don't have any people in here yet. I'm only doing the structure. People come second. Gunther's Painting. Gunther is a one-person show with a one-man house painter. But still, in order for the work to get done, these are all the positions that get filled. Doesn't matter how many people you have, we just got to make sure we identified all the positions that people have to fill to get the work done. That's Gunther's Painting Company. And now here we go next. Three Little Pigs. Three Little Pigs building out an organizational chart. If you remember the story, three little pigs, one little pig built his house out of straw, and the big wolf came and blew it down. And then the second pig built it out of like tree limbs and sticks, and the wolf came and blew it away. And the third pig, who had all the right materials, and that's really what this story is about, knew what the right materials were, put them together, and built an amazingly powerful house out of stones and brick and mortar. He even built a chimney. Not sure if he had power and electric in it, but he built a real house. And so this story is let's really understand the materials we need to be working with in order to build a modern day house that's going to withstand the huffing and puffing of the market, or a wolf as a metaphor. Hopefully you're laughing. Here we go. So, three little pigs. I'll do it here. Okay, so the first little pig was working in the org chart of the past, and he had the two building blocks of people and jobs. And his organization ended up looking like this. All he was doing was who is everyone's boss. And basically, it was a one-to-one relationship, one person to one job. Completely busting our Gunther rule, right? And not getting down to the detail here, but that's the basic little straw house, if you want to put it that way. Straw house. Cool? Then the second one came along here and built out an organizational chart. We're going to call it the stick one. And basically, come along here and you've got people and you've got jobs. And all you've done is just made it like nice little pretty pictures. You know, maybe the job has inside of it some job descriptions, but there's still no granularity. And again, all we see here is the one-to-one deal, people to jobs, one-to-one. It's just a stick house, not much bigger than a straw house, frankly. In order to build a brick and mortar and stone house, so brick and stone, we still have people, and we want to know all about our people. And then we're still going to have jobs. We want to have a pretty good purpose statement for our job. But then what we want to do is we want to add, at a minimum, these positions or roles that need to be drawn out. So this chart ends up looking more like the dome top table. We still have our reports to, and we still have the jobs that people are filling. But what we've really done here is we've created this position level this level right here, I'm drawing like that. This is where the real work gets done and where you've got to dive in deep. We have a methodology you can Google for it. It's called the Flowerpower Methodology. So that's building a really nice stone brick house or organizational chart. If you want to add some more paint, maybe some electricity, and maybe that chimney, the next levels that we would jump into here is we would have to understand what meetings these people are attending, what teams they're on, what customers they might be serving. And then we're to go another level. All this is captured in this brick stone house. What are the processes? What are the systems? What are the workflows? Don't freak out. Really, if you just get this right over here done first, that's kind of like where your head needs to start. I'm just giving you what happens in the future, that when you create this awareness around the people, the job, and the positions, and then you ask them what meetings are you part of, what teams are you part of, what customers are you serving, what processes are you following, what systems are you interacting with, what workflows do you follow, what does that look like? These people are going to be answering that question. That's enough for now. It goes deeper, but I hope this helps you understand what you need to do and the depth we need to go to build an organizational chart and a structure that will last. Thank you.